Welcome to our comprehensive guide on experimental design and protocols. In this video, we'll explore the essential steps and considerations for planning and executing scientific experiments. Whether you're a student, researcher, or simply curious about how experiments are structured, understanding these fundamentals is crucial. Experimental design forms the backbone of scientific inquiry, ensuring that results are reliable, reproducible, and meaningful. We'll start by discussing what experimental design means and why protocols are so important in scientific research. Let's dive in and set the stage for a journey through the world of structured experimentation. Experimental design refers to the framework that guides how an experiment is conducted. It involves planning how to collect data, control variables, and analyze results. A well-thought-out design minimizes bias and errors, making findings more trustworthy. The design process starts with a clear research question, followed by identifying variables and determining how they'll be measured. By carefully structuring experiments, researchers can draw valid conclusions and advance scientific knowledge. Next, we'll look at the key components that make up a solid experimental design. Several core components are essential in any experimental design. These include the hypothesis, variables, control groups, and methods for data collection. The hypothesis is a testable statement predicting the outcome. Variables are classified as independent, dependent, or controlled, each playing a specific role in the experiment. Control groups serve as a baseline for comparison, helping to isolate the effect of the independent variable. Data collection methods must be reliable and valid to ensure accurate results. Let's break down each of these elements in more detail. Hypothesis is the foundation of any experiment. It's a clear, concise statement that predicts the relationship between variables. For example, a researcher might hypothesize that increasing sunlight exposure will boost plant growth. The hypothesis should be specific and testable, allowing for measurable outcomes. Crafting a strong hypothesis guides the entire experimental process and helps focus the research. In the next scene, we'll discuss how to identify and classify variables within your experiment. Variables are the building blocks of experimental design. The independent variable is what you change, while the dependent variable is what you measure. Controlled variables are kept constant to ensure a fair test. For instance, in a plant growth experiment, sunlight is the independent variable, plant height is the dependent variable, and factors like soil type and water are controlled. Properly identifying and managing variables is crucial for drawing accurate conclusions. Next, we'll explore the importance of control groups in experiments. Control groups are essential for comparing results and identifying the true effect of the independent variable. By keeping all conditions the same except for the variable being tested, researchers can attribute differences in outcomes to the experimental treatment. For example, in a drug trial, the control group might receive a placebo, while the experimental group receives the medication. This setup helps eliminate alternative explanations for observed effects. Now, let's move on to methods for collecting reliable data. Accurate data collection is at the heart of any successful experiment. Methods can include observations, surveys, measurements, or using specialized equipment. The choice depends on the research question and the type of data needed. Consistency in data collection ensures that results are valid and can be replicated by others. It's important to document procedures clearly so that the experiment can be repeated. Next, we'll discuss how to analyze the data you've collected. Once data is collected, analysis begins. This involves organizing the data, performing statistical tests, and interpreting the results. The goal is to determine whether the findings support the original hypothesis. Data analysis can reveal patterns, trends, and relationships between variables. Using appropriate statistical methods is crucial for drawing valid conclusions. In the next scene, we'll look at how to report and present your experimental finding. Communicating your findings is a vital part of the scientific process. Results should be presented clearly, using tables, graphs, and written summaries. Transparency in reporting allows others to evaluate and replicate your work. It's important to include both positive and negative results as all data contributes to scientific understanding. Next, we'll discuss the significance of protocols in ensuring experimental reliability. Protocols are detailed instructions that guide every step of an experiment. They ensure consistency, safety, and reliability. By following a standardized protocol, researchers can minimize errors and make sure that experiments are reproducible. Protocols also help in training new team members and maintaining quality control. Let's explore what goes into creating an effective experimental protocol. Creating a protocol involves outlining each step of the experiment in detail. This includes materials needed, procedures, safety precautions, and methods for data collection. A good protocol is clear, concise, and easy to follow. It should anticipate potential challenges and provide solutions. By documenting every aspect, researchers ensure that the experiment can be repeated accurately by others. Next, we'll look at the role of pilot studies in refining protocol. Pilot studies are small-scale versions of the main experiment. They help identify potential issues with the protocol and allow for adjustments before full-scale testing. By running a pilot, researchers can test procedures, estimate time requirements, and ensure that data collection methods work as intended. This step is invaluable for refining protocols and improving the overall quality of the experiment. Next, we'll discuss the importance of randomization in experimental design. Randomization is a technique used to assign subjects or samples to different groups by chance. This process reduces bias and ensures that groups are comparable. Randomization strengthens the validity of experimental results by minimizing the influence of confounding variables. It's a key principle in both clinical trials and laboratory research. In the next scene, we'll explore the concept of blinding and its role in experimental design. Blinding is used to prevent bias by keeping participants, researchers, or both unaware of group assignments. Single-blind experiments conceal information from participants, while double-blind designs keep both participants and researchers in the dark. This approach helps ensure that expectations don't influence the results. Blinding is especially important in clinical trials, where placebo effects can impact outcomes. Next, we'll discuss how to determine sample size for your experiment. Choosing the right sample size is critical for obtaining reliable results. Too few subjects can lead to inconclusive findings, while too many may waste resources. Statistical methods help estimate the minimum number of samples needed to detect meaningful effects. Factors like expected effect size, variability, and desired confidence level all play a role. Proper sample size planning increases the power of your experiment. Next, we'll look at ethical considerations in experimental design. Ethics are at the core of experimental design, especially when working with people or animals. Researchers must obtain informed consent, protect privacy, and minimize harm. Ethical review boards evaluate study protocols to ensure that experiments meet established standards. Transparency and respect for participants are essential for maintaining public trust in science. Next, we'll discuss how to document and store experimental data securely. Proper documentation is vital for tracking progress and ensuring reproducibility. Researchers should record all procedures, observations, and results in detail. Electronic lab notebooks and secure databases are commonly used for data storage. Good documentation practices make it easier to analyze data, share findings, and comply with regulatory requirements. Next, we'll explore the importance of peer review in validating experimental protocol. Peer review involves having other experts evaluate your experimental protocol before the study begins. This process helps identify potential flaws, improve clarity, and ensure that the experiment meets scientific standards. Peer review increases the credibility of your research and can lead to valuable feedback. It's a standard practice in both academic and industrial research settings. Next, we'll discuss the role of replication in scientific experiment. Replication means repeating an experiment to see if the results can be reproduced. Successful replication strengthens confidence in the findings and helps identify errors or biases. Replication is a cornerstone of the scientific method, ensuring that discoveries are robust and reliable. It also allows other researchers to build on previous work. Next, we'll look at how to troubleshoot common issues in experimental design. Even well-planned experiments can encounter problems. Common issues include unexpected results, equipment malfunctions, or data inconsistencies. Troubleshooting involves identifying the source of the problem and making necessary adjustments. Keeping detailed records and maintaining open communication with your team can help resolve issues quickly. Next, we'll discuss the importance of continuous improvement in experimental protocol. Continuous improvement means regularly reviewing and updating experimental protocols. Feedback from pilot studies, peer reviews, and completed experiments can highlight areas for enhancement. By embracing a culture of improvement, researchers can increase efficiency, accuracy, and safety. This approach ensures that protocols remain relevant and effective over time. Next, we'll explore the role of technology in modern experimental design. Advancements in technology have transformed experimental design. Automated equipment, data analysis software, and digital record-keeping streamline the research process. Technology enables more precise measurements, faster data collection, and improved accuracy. Staying updated with the latest tools can give researchers a significant advantage. Next, we'll discuss the importance of collaboration in experimental research. Collaboration brings together diverse expertise and perspectives, leading to more robust experimental designs. Working in teams allows for sharing ideas, dividing tasks, and cross-checking results. Collaboration can occur within a single lab or across institutions and disciplines. Effective communication and clear protocols are key to successful teamwork. Next, we'll look at how to manage resources efficiently during experiment. Efficient resource management ensures that experiments run smoothly and stay within budget. This includes managing time, materials, equipment, and personnel. Planning ahead and monitoring usage can prevent shortages and delays. Good resource management also involves maintaining equipment and ensuring that supplies are available when needed. Next, we'll discuss the importance of safety protocols in experimental research. Safety is paramount in any experimental setting. Protocols should include detailed safety instructions, emergency procedures, and guidelines for handling hazardous materials. Regular training and safety audits help maintain a safe working environment. Adhering to safety protocols protects researchers and ensures compliance with regulations. Next, we'll explore how to handle unexpected results in experiment. Unexpected results are a natural part of scientific research. Instead of viewing them as failures, researchers should analyze and learn from them. These outcomes can lead to new hypotheses or reveal previously unknown factors. Documenting unexpected results and investigating their causes is essential for scientific progress. Next, we'll discuss the importance of transparency in experimental reporting. Transparency means providing complete and honest accounts of experimental procedures and results. This includes sharing raw data, methods, and any deviations from the original protocol. Transparent reporting builds trust and allows others to replicate and validate findings. It's a key principle in open science. Next, we'll look at how to adapt protocols for different types of experiment. Different experiments may require tailored protocols. For example, field studies, laboratory experiments, and clinical trials each have unique requirements. Adapting protocols involves considering the specific context, resources, and objectives of the study. Flexibility and attention to detail are key to successful adaptation. Next, we'll discuss the role of standard operating procedures in experimental research. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, are formalized protocols used to ensure consistency across experiments. SOPs outline every step in detail and are often required in regulated industries. They help maintain quality, safety, and compliance. Using SOPs can also streamline training and onboarding for new team members. Next, we'll explore the importance of record-keeping in experimental research. Accurate record-keeping is essential for tracking progress, analyzing results, and meeting regulatory requirements. Researchers should log all experimental details, including dates, times, observations, and any changes to the protocol. Electronic systems can help organize and secure records. Good record keeping supports transparency and reproducibility. Next, we'll discuss the importance of data security in experimental research. Protecting experimental data from loss or unauthorized access is critical. Data security measures include regular backups, password protection, and restricted access. Secure data storage ensures that sensitive information remains confidential and that research can continue even if technical issues arise. Next, we'll look at how to manage intellectual property in experimental research. Intellectual property, or IP, includes inventions, discoveries, and data generated during experiments. Managing IP involves documenting discoveries, filing patents, and understanding ownership rights. Proper management protects researchers' work and encourages innovation. Institutions often have dedicated offices to help with IP issues. Next, we'll discuss the importance of training and education in experimental design. Training ensures that all team members understand experimental protocols and best practices. Ongoing education keeps researchers updated on new techniques, technologies, and regulations. Workshops, seminars, and online courses are valuable resources. Well-trained teams are more efficient and produce higher quality results. Next, we'll explore the role of feedback in improving experimental design. Feedback from team members, peers, and reviewers is essential for refining experimental design. Constructive criticism can highlight weaknesses and suggest improvements. Encouraging open communication and regular review sessions fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Next, we'll discuss how to handle multi-site or collaborative experiments. Multi-site experiments involve conducting the same study at different locations. This approach increases the generalizability of results and can reveal site-specific effects. Coordinating multi-site studies requires clear protocols, effective communication, and centralized data management. Next, we'll look at the challenges of scaling up experiments. Scaling up means increasing the size or scope of an experiment. This can involve more subjects, additional sites, or extended timeframes. Scaling up tests the robustness of protocols and may require additional resources. Planning and coordination are key to successful expansion. Next, we'll discuss the importance of reviewing and updating protocols regularly. Regularly reviewing protocols ensures they remain effective and up-to-date. Changes in technology, regulations, or research objectives may require protocol updates. Scheduled reviews and feedback from team members help identify areas for improvement. Keeping protocols current supports high-quality research. Next, we'll explore the role of documentation in regulatory compliance. Compliance with regulations is essential for conducting ethical and legal research. Protocols must meet standards set by regulatory bodies, which may include safety, privacy, and reporting requirements. Regular audits and thorough documentation help ensure compliance. Non-compliance can result in penalties or loss of funding. Next, we'll discuss the importance of archiving experimental data. Archiving involves storing experimental data and protocols for future reference. Proper archiving ensures that data is accessible for verification, replication, or further analysis. Digital archives and secure storage systems are commonly used. Good archiving practices support transparency and long-term research goals. Next, we'll look at the role of open science in experimental research. Open science promotes sharing data, methods, and results with the wider community. This approach increases transparency, accelerates discovery, and fosters collaboration. Open access publications, data repositories, and preprints are tools for practicing open science. Embracing open science principles benefits both researchers and society. Next, we'll discuss the future of experimental design and protocol. The future of experimental design will be shaped by advances in technology, data science, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Automation, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics are transforming how experiments are planned and analyzed. These trends promise greater efficiency, accuracy, and innovation. Staying informed about new developments is key for researchers. Next, we'll summarize the key points covered in this video. We've covered the essentials of experimental design and protocols, from formulating hypotheses and identifying variables to developing protocols and ensuring compliance. Key takeaways include the importance of planning, documentation, collaboration, and continuous improvement. By following best practices, researchers can produce reliable, reproducible, and impactful results. In our final scenes, we'll offer some practical tips for applying these principles in your own research. Start by clearly defining your research question and hypothesis. Use pilot studies to refine your protocol and seek feedback from peers. Document every step, maintain data security, and stay updated on regulations. Embrace collaboration and be open to learning from unexpected results. These practical steps will help you navigate the complexities of experimental research with confidence. Next, we'll share some resources for further learning. There are many resources available to deepen your understanding of experimental design and protocols. Online courses, textbooks, scientific journals, and professional organizations offer valuable information. Staying engaged with the scientific community and continuing your education will enhance your research skills. In our final scene, we'll wrap up with some closing thoughts. Thank you for joining us on this journey through experimental design and protocols. By mastering these concepts, you'll be well equipped to conduct high-quality research and contribute to scientific progress. Remember, careful planning, thorough documentation, and a commitment to continuous improvement are the hallmarks of successful experimentation. We wish you the best in your future research endeavors.